Yeah, I can remember saying that part.
Right, so it makes more sense to grab it. So how much recycled water you guys giving away?
We're $4 million today. Too much?
We have detour signs set up all the way to Liverpool.
Yeah, we're getting a lot more away lately. What are you guys doing? Can you stop?
Hold that
Good evening. I'm Executive Services Supervisor Nicole Gisali. It's Tuesday, July 21st, 2015. This is a regular meeting of the Dublin Standalone Services District Board of Directors. Presiding this evening is President Ed Duarte.
Please stand for the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Nicole.
Director Marlena Leopold. Here. Director Benson. Director Halkett. Here. Vice President Howard.
Here.
And President Duarte.
Here. Special announcements activities.
Yes, we have,
Sure. I'd like to introduce you all to Senzi Tron. He is one of our newest operator at the wastewater treatment plant. Senzi actually came down to DSRSD about 3 years ago and volunteered to do work there at the treatment plant, so he volunteered for a couple of years. And as some of you know, I'm an instructor in the Buckwheat program, and Senzi became a student in that program and one of the top students in the program. And so he's a graduate of UC Davis. Was born and raised in Oakland with his mom, dad, and 2 sisters. And so after being at the treatment plant for about 3 years, the operators told me they would drown me in a clarifier. So we're happy to have him.
And happy you're alive.
Yes.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Gary.
We have one other one. Okay, Christina Casha, in our customer service. Christina, why don't you stand up? Christina is a Dublin resident. She comes to us by way of AT&T, 18 years there. Vicky's very excited to have the extra help and the experience on board. I don't have stories or what I'm going to name it, but we're very happy to have her on board and to help answering the phones.
Thank you.
That's it. At this time, we'll have public comment. Meeting open to the public. At this time, those in the audience are encouraged to address the board on any item of interest that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board and not already included on tonight's agenda. Comments should not exceed 5 minutes. I have one speaker card from Karzad, Bosa Funds.
I do. Awesome, all right.
To the podium, please.
I prepared a presentation, but unfortunately we can't get it up on the projecting tonight. So okay, I'd like to put it here closer for you guys to see that.
Okay.
And here's some cards with the presentation also on a USB.
Oh, thank you.
So you guys can check that out yourselves in your own time.
Thank you.
So, this podium here, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, great. So, my name is Farzad, this is my partner Chris, and we started up a new nonprofit organization called Recycle Water Services. We started this organization with the sole purpose and vision of partnering up with Dublin Central Services District when we do it. A little bit about ourselves. We grew up here in Pleasanton. We've lived here 24 years of our lives. We went to elementary school, middle school, high school in this district. After high school, I went off to USC and I got myself a degree in environmental science with a concentration on energy and sustainability policy. Chris over here.
Just recently took over our family business a couple years ago, just Conley's Furniture, we're in Fremont, and expanded to 4 additional locations the past couple years. So really been focusing on the business these past couple years. So
And another thing that we've noticed this past year is the incredible job that you guys have done with the recycled water program. Is that? Yep. Great, perfect. With the recycled water program. You guys have distributed 7.6 million gallons year to date with over 2,000 registered users, well over 2,000 registered users. And we want to see these numbers soar. And we've identified a limiting factor in your guys' almost already perfect equation, and that's limited access. I think it's nothing new to us that water is extremely heavy. And another thing is one of these standard tanks that everybody has been using is about 2,300 pounds when it's full. Now, top line F-150, brand new, has a maximum payload of only 2,200 pounds.
I mean, clearly, if the nicest truck on the market can't carry one of these legally, you know, 150. So I'm a little biased, but right now the way people are getting this water is, I mean, you can go look on Craigslist or something. Someone's going to pick it up. They're going to deliver it with non-code compliant. Non-code compliant means right now there's no way for you guys to track that distribution. I mean, you guys can track when the truck comes in, but you have no idea where it's going, right? So. And I mean, the people that are delivering right now have little to no training. I mean, they're just going off of Craigslist and throwing their truck and driving it over, right? So
It's definitely not code compliant, and it's very hard to track.
Right.
So all these things kept in mind, we set out to create recycled water services with the sole purpose to help DSRSD safely and efficiently expand the use of recycled water among its customers. Now, how are we going to do this? Well, simply put, we're here to help. We're here to help sign up and educate new users. So anybody that signs up with our system, we want to give them the exact same presentation that I took when I got this registered card so that they're registered. And then at that point, we report them back to you guys so you know who has been signed up on the program. And we'll also help current users have an alternate form of getting the recycled water. So that frees up some space at your guys' yards as well. And another thing that we're going to be doing is making sure that recycled water delivered by us and used by current users is always code compliant. Mainly that there's no direct connection to the irrigation systems. We want to make sure that that's clear. We want to be an enforcement for the policies. We want to monitor the amount of water distributed, and we want to report back to DSRSD on a weekly basis on how much we've distributed and to who exactly. We're going to work with the Clean Water Section 2 and Stephanie on that. And if people are storing water at their homes, we don't want them to have it more than sitting there for 2 days because the chlorine will dissipate. We'll actually provide complimentary chlorine tablets to anybody that's part of our program. And that way we can make sure that the water stays safe at all times. And we want to set the standard for recycled water service. Nothing like this has been done before. We really want to work with you guys and set the standard together. So the process of how all this would work, we have a fully trained recycled water delivery specialist. They're fully up to your guys' codes. And we have a nice Class C water truck. We're going to have 3 of these. In the future, we're going to be transferring all these to natural gas powered, so we have good, clean fuel. Properly labeled with all the necessary stickers, and it's safe and noise compliant. We're going to deliver it to an approved tank. We're going to have a barcode right there on the tank that you guys are aware of. You know the number that's associated with the customer. And our guy will show up, he'll scan the barcode, he'll enter in exactly how much water is being delivered at that time. And make sure everything is still code compliant, there's no direct connections, and he'll be on his way. All of our operating regulations are to the highest standard. We're state registered as a nonprofit, we're licensed, and we're fully insured. We do not charge for the water at all. We are simply charging for the delivery of the free water, and that is 10 cents per gallon, and that's to cover our cost of operation. All of our operations will be in accordance with Ordinance 301, Titles 3, 4, and 22 of the District Code. And again, all of our employees will be fully screened, background checked, fully trained to DSRSD standards, and be held to the highest standards by Chris and myself.
So our goal here, guys, is for you guys to leverage us to help you. Okay, we're really excited about the recycled water usage in our district, and we really think that we can help you guys expand that. We want to sign up, educate, and service new and existing users. We want to make sure that all systems out there are code compliant. We'll be very strict on that in the field. And we want to track and log all customer usage and compliance.
And one more thing we really want you guys to leverage us to do is to make the community a better place. That's really why we created this. We want to see our community greener. People have the water that they need to sustain the landscaping that they want. We want to demonstrate that through our core values to protect the public health and environment. We want to demonstrate fairness, respect, honesty, and ethics. And we want to provide a sustainable, efficient, and reliable service.
And we'd love to give back to the schools, police, fire, municipalities, hospitals, and that's really one of our goals as well. So.
And we ask you, members of the board, all of you, to please help us and give us this opportunity to make this presentation into a reality. We ask for your guys' blessing and the opportunity to have a commercial pool permit so that we can operate under these strict guidelines with partnership with you guys. Thank you.
So I'm assuming this grants your staff for a while, right? I'm assuming this stays with staff for a while until there's something.
If you so elect to come to staff, I'm not aware of this the first time I've
Right.
heard this one. So we need direction from you if you want us to pursue this.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea.
Well, you obviously listen to anybody who brings a
Sort of full proposal on that, so you can evaluate it. Give us a recommendation. Thank you for your
Thank you.
Thank you very much. One truck is what you have right now?
Correct.
Okay, moving on to reports.
Yes, President Barney, members of the board, a number of things for your calendar. And first of all, I would also note that we've got photos sitting in the ties and participating in the day and all the things on the case. In terms of your schedule, a number of things coming up, so you want to put your pens. These things are first to
Yes.
Tomorrow evening, the Tri-Valley Water Policy Roundtable is holding their fifth series of meetings. That's at 5 o'clock at the Robert Livermore Community Center in Livermore. General topics in the Gene and Rich are delegates to that. I trust both of you will be there. Ed and Pat, if you wish to attend, no problem. But if you wish to participate, then you can scramble and invite me because of them. So that's item one. Item number 2. I think I have these more or less in chronological order. On July 31st, which is a Friday, we are going to be hosting Congressman Swalwell at our treatment plant. He's going to be conducting what he's calling a water roundtable discussion. He's invited general managers from all the water agencies, cities, and districts that provide water service in his territory. And I'm not sure exactly what he wants to talk about, but the flavor I have is that he wants to talk about regional cooperation and the agencies and regional opportunities. President Duarte is going to be representing the elected community. Anybody else is welcome to attend, but if we have more around that issue, notice that. That meeting is at 9:30. Will be preceded by a tour of our recycled water stations. August 1st, the very next day, which is a Saturday, we again are hosting Congressman Swalwell for the Defeat the Drought Expo, which is going to be held at the City of Dublin Fill Station right over here. That runs from 9 to noon. I understand the Congressman will be present from about 9:30 to about 11. We're going to to have a number of booths there, there's a number of other folks that the Congressman's office has signed up to have booths, so we're providing all the logistics. So it's an opportunity for the community to meet with their Congressman. On August 4th, if you don't have that in your calendar, I believe John calling all the time wrong, we need a meeting of the Finance Committee, which will be a pre-meeting with our auditors, which they like to do. And so we're thinking, John, is that much time? Because the other meeting is not.
It's not, no, I think we need half an hour.
So let's say 5:15. The Finance Committee, I believe this year is, should be.
Yeah, 5:15, 5:30.
Next item is that the CASA conference, California Association of Sanitation Agencies conference, is coming up in San Diego, August 19th through the 21st. That's a Wednesday through a Friday. If you're interested in going, I'm pretty sure one of you will be there because she's on the agenda. We'll need information where you will make registration and travel arrangements. So let Nicole know. Lastly, the Dublin Chamber of Commerce annual barbecue, wouldn't you know, is that same Wednesday as the CASA meeting, August 19th at Raw Ranch. It's usually a pretty good event. Have a chance to meet with the business leaders in the community, so if anybody's interested in knowing about something.
Sure, it's Rail Ranch. But they said they were going to move it to
well,
the Heritage Center.
No, that's a very, I don't know. I just
It's
assumed, I just assumed,
Heritage.
I
It's
assumed
Heritage.
it was Raw Ranch, but that's what it's meant for 30
No, they're finally going to move into the Heritage
Okay.
Center.
Okay, thank you, so I'm not sure. And finally, under correspondence to and from the board, the day after our last board meeting, June 17th, the board received an email from Marlene Musetti, who's a resident of the west side of Dublin, regarding the use of the water service to parks in western Dublin. We prepared a response to her, both her email and the response from staff. Before you, basically, she was looking for, she's concerned about the state of the parks up on the west side. Of course, they're going to be hooked up to the Reset the Water project here soon, so we don't need to see maybe back off terminal.
Please let them know that they're allowed to hear you this week.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Moving on to the approval of minutes for our regular meeting of June 16. I'll take a motion.
I'll second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the minutes for our regular meeting of June 16. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next order of business, item 8, consent calendar, which has items A, B, and C.
Move for approval.
I'll second.
Then moved and seconded to approve items A, B, and C on the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 9A, first item, board business.
Yes, President Markey, members of the board, this is your standing item related to the drought management plan. It's an opportunity for the community to talk to you about any of the elements of the drought management plan, or move in this direction if you see any need for any change. It's an informational item, open forum.
So we're the same cycle right now, so no changes.
Item 9G, if I can move down to that, is action item to accept the water supply and demand report. You've asked us to present that to you on a monthly basis. I'll summarize here a lot of information. I wanted to, and also for you to make a finding that we need to community drought emergency still exists, which is our recommendation. I want to call your attention to the slide I have up there, and I'm having technical difficulties with computer frozen. I wasn't sure it was come back up in the time, but I think it's good enough for you to see. This is sort of the key graph that sort of summarizes the results of our drought management program. We have all these individual programs, outreach, rebates, etc. But the real proof of putting this on the water the community is saving. So there's This is just for the calendar year, you can't read it, but you can follow it, starting January 1st through December 31st, or right here into July. This dashed line that's kind of hard to see with little X's is water use week by week in 2013. The green line represents a smooth version of that, reduced by 12%, which is what the state board has asked us to achieve. The purple line is our demand request for 2015 of Zone 7. You say, well, why is that higher than 2013? Well, we've had a good amount of growth in this area since that time. And the red lines are, the bars are week by week actual water use. This is all on a volumetric basis. You can't look at it. This is in millions of gallons of water use. So you see, we are consistently, week by week, below our target with the state board. We are overachieving, and we're steady. We were worried a little bit that this is consistent recovery, but I think the program is working. Last week, the results were a 40% reduction as compared to 2013. Overall, we were running just a little over 30%. So really great results.
Are they too good? What's the financial, so
what's
you
the
stayed in,
impact on the budget?
you stayed in stage 2 on purpose.
You know,
If we drew a stage 2 line there, what would that be? The amount of water we're supposed to set, like, what we're.
Before John, again, because you're aiming towards money. If we, remember we were originally at 16%, which triggered the stage 2 rates. That line, we still would have been achieved. It would be lower than the green line because we have to achieve more conservation, use less water, but it would still be above the city's red bars.
We still have a dollar cap.
The difference between the red bars and the green is theoretically about a bit. It's a little more complicated.
I know, I'm oversimplifying.
but I think overall, we talked about a couple of meetings ago. If you remember when we set the rates, it was back in 2012. And remember our water use spiked going up in 2013. And the rates were set in 2012. So the abridged version is, I think we'll be okay, but I did take a pro forma and run it out. But I think we're still going to be.
I mean, it's not much we can do about it, the community's doing what they're doing. The other question would be, one step beyond me, is there any it'd be interesting to see an analysis of some of our institutional customers, and whether they're watering at all. Specifically, some of the parks on the west side, I know Dublin Elementary, looks like they turned the water off there. And if they were watering closer to where we should, where we're allowed to under the drought law, that's really sparks.
Take a look, I did look at the top, because we were looking at some of the creep up in the commercial irrigation accounts. So the top four, I picked up, they were all at 50% of the price, they're all home in. But I did look at the bottom of the list to see who's not using.
That'd be interesting to see who's just turned off completely. And that,
And then it's obvious that the city is helping from the parks on the budget, taking the Heritage Park, Shannon, what,
and I know you've been in communication with them. You can't make the water. But, anecdotally, talking to some other people in the valley, we're not the only community having issues with some institutions deciding that we're just going to participate in the drought and turn the power down.
The thing that worries me though is that we all know it doesn't turn just brown, it gets kind of clumpy. And you got a kid out there playing soccer on that field, and they're going to end up with a heavily twisted ankle, and that always concerns me. My kids are very athletic, and football field is causing a major tear in my son's knee that I've never quite gotten over. But I just hate to see them completely ignoring it.
I think it's too hard. The balance is hard. It's hard to achieve because of the clay soil. When it dries, it shrinks.
I think for those lawns, it's too late.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gone.
I hope they have some capital.
Yeah, they'll have to start over.
Anyway, it's hard to hijack.
The other thing I wanted to mention on this is that our management plan calls for us to work with some of the regional agencies to look at possible water transfers for 2016 and beyond. We understand how this is a powerful basis. Now, having introduced that topic, of course, everybody's talking about the community and that sort of stuff. We don't know what we're going to use to defend and that sort of thing. We'll see as that goes on. But I want to let you know that East Bay Mud has reached out to us and we started talking to them. The transfer this year didn't happen for a number of very complicated hydrological reasons. Next year, the reasons are a little bit, what we're doing, the facts are a little bit different on the ground, but there may be some other opportunities for other next year as well. Certainly, we want to sort of set the stage for programmatic water transfers. So we're working with them on that. Nothing formal yet, just discussions. Yeah, not as close. That's all I have.
Need a motion to accept this.
I'll make a motion to accept the report and to find that the need for the community drought groups still exists.
I will second.
Moved and seconded, as just stated. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I just have a couple of typo issues. If you could please, page 4, at the top, it says basis water use in June 2013 and 15. Should that be 14 and 15? Let me go over to it. Page 2, excuse me, page 4 of 22, right at the top.
That's 20. Basis of water use in June 2013. Yeah, that's a baseline year. 2013 is the baseline.
And then the other thing is 4 lines up from the bottom, 3 months over.
That was the one you mentioned above first is a systemic, because that appears in all of the cases. The SBA outages. You said you had 3 or 4?
No, that's it.
Fremont's a low cost, that's a low cost version.
I was a little kid when Fremont was born, and there was all this hassle, so I've never forgotten how to spell it.
All right.
Okay, moving on. Item 9C, discuss the status of the long-term alternative water supply study. Dan?
And good evening, President Board and board members. The Great Gap drought has forced a fundamental rethinking about the district's long-term water supply. Reliance on mobile plants is no longer plausible. The board has adopted some conceptual goals on long-term alternate water supply as part of the strategic plan. The preliminary results of the alternate water plan have been reviewed by the board in 2 workshops earlier this year. The final written study, as well as the redrafting of the district's policy on water supply and conservation policy, are nearing completion. Because the study, as well as the policy, represent a fundamental shift in previous district policy, staff proposes to publicly circulate those documents in draft form in advance of board consideration. Secondly, staff proposes that the board consider the 2 documents over 2 board meetings, not just one for standard practice. The purpose is to be transparent with this major policy shift, but beyond transparency, suggesting that the opportunity to engage the community and key stakeholders in the Tri-Valley is warranted in this case. The engagement process conditions for full transparency allows for the possibility of stakeholder input that can shape the draft policy into a final public policy. Staff indicated in the written report that the discussions will start on August 4th. We're working out some final tweaks on the policy and the report that will be listed on August 4th date. We anticipate starting on September 1st. Because of these delays, that the second meeting would be on September 15th. We anticipate, subject to board's consent, submitting the draft documents for a couple of weeks ahead of those meetings to stakeholders, the board, other entities like cities, and staff to be able to answer any questions.
less of a question, but I appreciate kind of stepping gently with this one. This introduced, even though we do everything correctly with our posting and stuff, introduced this with the normal process. Could lead to you go part two. So this is, we're overcompensating, and I totally agree with the fact that we're overcompensating. So I'm assuming the zone, the cities, all the retailers, East Bay Mud, our neighbors, you know, any others, just usual roster of people who care.
Anybody?
And 85% every 10 years. So basically what we're going through this year, every 10 years, what we went through last year, once a generation, once every 30 years. This lines up with what we've been doing. Yeah, no, this is probably the most strategic thing we've done in the last 11 years. It sets us up for contract renewal discussions, discussion with the neighbors. This one's
Are we gonna see it after all the other agencies make comments?
So we'll submit the draft documents to the board simultaneously with sending it out to all the stakeholders. But the board won't have an agenda for discussion until there's been this complete period where stakeholders can all their comment, like we anticipate that on the first.
There's nothing new in the ordinance, it's just documenting those specifications.
And most of the stakeholders are seeing them too, so yeah, it's cautious. This is the way we should be going. We're looking forward to
Nobody read on it.
Yeah. Since last September, 4 meetings of the Water Policy Roundtable has been held. At the last meeting in May, there was broad consensus that advanced water recycling, namely indirect potable reuse, warranted formal study by the agencies. And the timing and the scale of that study was not addressed at that water policy roundtable. As part of its water supply evaluation, Zone 7 is evaluating indirect potable reuse and desalination. So this is kind of an adjunct, detailed supplemental study to their water supply evaluation. Keep in mind, the water supply evaluation is not a formal master plan. It's more akin to a general plan of community conceptual nature. DSRSD's staff is recommending that a more detailed study of indirect potable reuse proceed at an appropriate time. Something of the scale of a master plan, looks at project possibilities, hurdles, cost sharing, cost implementation, grants, and perhaps programmatic environmental review. The staff of the different agencies do not yet have a consensus on exactly how that process is going to proceed at this point on a detailed indirect potable master plan. That's still a pending item for us. The next water policy roundtable is scheduled for tomorrow evening in Livermore. A copy of the agenda for that meeting is attached to the board's opinions. Additionally, a conceptual outline for an advanced recycled water study recommended by DSRSD staff is attached. However, the review of this staff recommendation outline is not scheduled for discussion or decision at the water policy roundtable. There will be an update on the Zone 7 water supply evaluation tomorrow evening and on the supplemental desalination and direct potable use study of Zone 2 an adjunct to the water supply evaluation, and an overview of a potential future phase 2 study. The main topic for the water policy roundtable last night was receiving and commenting on a presentation on public outreach for advanced recycled water program. This is something that was requested at the last water policy roundtable, so we're bringing that forward this time. The board agenda item tonight allows the opportunity for the DSRSD board to prefer advanced water policy roundtable. Tomorrow evening, staff is there to answer any questions.
Couldn't we take the CWR reports and change the dates and submit them?
It's been worked out very.
I mean, let's face it, what's going to be different?
Well, there's the possibility of more of a partnership in the Tri-Valley, less of a individual focus, and there was some indication the last water policy roundtable, some interest in studying it from a partnership perspective.
instead of groundwater going to Del Valle, so that's.
Yeah, that also, there's also a possibility of reservoirs and storage rather than groundwater.
curious when you say some interest in the RO, is it widespread? Is it a couple of individuals or just, given the opposition that this faced?
So there were 11 officials, including one appointed official from Cal Water at the last meeting. And I think that there was universally great consensus that further study was warranted. There were some comments that might suggest shaping the study a bit. I think there's at least one comment that full-on direct potable reuse to groundwater injection might not be appropriate. Perhaps it's better to allow that to naturally recharge in a creek or think of direct potable use in a more limited way. But I think the consensus was, unanimous was, this should proceed. Some study in program.
It's interesting to see the reactions to it.
Yeah, and there was a couple of pennies, but it's funny, in the teeth of the drought, the people kind of dollars seem to receive it. It's well received in the room conceptually. It was kind of a funny meeting because some of the public was haranguing us for why this equipment, this mothballs. He's much more diplomatic than I am. Just pointing out the facts that at least two of the entities in this room sued us to make us stop doing that. So we cleared the table on that.
But you have to point out to them that it's not really a mothballs. We're looking at the recycling we have without it. It irks me that they say it's in mothballs. Yeah, okay, the RO filters aren't there.
It's like selective memory.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's my concern and the temperature I want to take to the board is just how this thing is, what's this, 5th or 16th, whether you want to count the first meeting first. It's starting to become kind of a political gab fest for my, that's what most of it. I know some of the other electeds are starting to get a little impatient, so I personally want to bring this thing to a head, and until some people start signing a piece of paper and writing some checks to do something that's not real. I know we have a mechanism to do that with this joint contracting cooperation agreement that we all have. Mutual services. So, with your approval, I don't want to get out in front of the skis. I think we need to start pushing that, we got to actually do something here, or we're going to have the 9th meeting and we're still kind of talking at PowerPoint. I know that's your desire. You want to get something actually happening that's real fun.
I agree. I want to get something yesterday. We're coming to these meetings if you have no intent of following through on what was ultimately the consensus of everyone, which is to find alternatives to the mess we're in.
Is that fair? Fair read?
I just have one question about, on 9C, we talked about no more than 40% supply and storage. By that, do you mean a source is where the water actually comes from, or from an agency?
Source from where it comes from. So the state water project
Would be a
source, or Delta, or recycled water.
Yeah, the contract thing is, the people we're actually writing checks to for the water.
Yeah, but they're different
sources,
sources,
exactly.
molecules of water.
Okay, so it sounds like Georgina and I are supposed to kind of push a little bit.
I think
go
you-
ahead.
I think you
We
should.
gotta get someone to sign and get some dollars, because until they write a check, nobody's serious.
I agree.
That all clear?
I think that's part of the key discussion of this process.
I'm just thinking out loud, maybe Pat and I should.
Well,
we can't.
We can't. Well, we'll leave it up to, we'll do firebrands.
They will hear the message.
Yeah, okay. All right, then. All right. Item 9E then.
Yes, President Marty, members of the board, this is related to Nancy Hatfield's retirement in June. Nancy was a long-standing appointee as district secretary. To refresh your memory, district secretary is an appointed position in the community service of district, appointed by the Bay Board. serving at the pleasure of the board. However, we have actually staff that function with an existing employee to that position, that was Nancy. The set of duties that are related to the district secretary are fairly limited by the Human Services District Act, fairly narrow set of duties. That act has changed over the years to the point where we've done with one of the actions, the second action on the is to actually define those duties, and what we've done with the legal counsel is we're very carefully to separate the district secretary duties as that person is obligated to carry along employee versus the employee's duties as an employee of the district, as in this case, the executive services. The third item, of course, is the stipend for the district secretary. This has a long history, and there's no requirement for a stipend, there's no prohibition against a stipend. The amount of the stipend is purely a discretionary matter of the board, and as such, it's not a negotiated amount, which is why we're talking about this in open session rather than giving deliberation in the closed session. So in summary, 3 items before you tonight. One is appoint the district secretary, and one recommendation is that you seriously consider Nicole Gonzalez as appointed her to the position of district secretary. She's acting interim acting interim executive services supervisor for the time being, so that would be logical for her to do that. The resolution of even duties, we think we've clearly separated those, so my recommendation would be to take that action, and that will await your direction and decision on this stuff. All these actions will be retroactive back to June 23rd.
Well, let's handle the first 2 then.
I think it might flow if you do the duties, then the stipend, and then make an appointment. That way we're not discussing stipends or anything, if we're discussing the monetary part of it, we don't have a district secretary. Because in the past, we've had a hard time separating individuals and what they do, and so that'd be my suggestion. How about a motion that we accept, is it a resolution? A resolution to revise the duties of district secretary.
Been moved and seconded to revise the duties of the district secretary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Leave it to you. Try this. So, this is a chance to unwind. We had a kind of a long history with stipends with district secretaries and try to unwind what the district secretary does as a statutory position versus what the organizational services manager does. I'm glad that the last page, F1, really defines what these statutory duties are. And if you look at them, administrating oath of office, that's once, 15 minutes every 2 years. Notices to take specified actions in the event of a shift to division, that's never. Legal process, that's a legal process is very rare, I'm sure. Not a few years. Testing, that's the one that actually needs to have to sign papers, that can be done at night or during the day. Certifying resolutions of application of LAFO or services, again, very rare. It's 6 to 7. And I know we're trying to denigrate the duties. I just want to put the duties in perspective for what they are. They're statutory requirements. They're things that we're required to have somebody whose name's attached to these things. If we didn't have that requirement, we'd just have one of our very good employees do it. There's another statutory office, treasurer, which doesn't have stuff. They have duties that are kind of similar. Again, things that happen mostly during the day. So it used to. So my proposal would be thus. We can fill the district secretary at any given place, right? So it can be an employee, it can be a non-employee, it can be an exempt employee, or a non-exempt employee. Well, that'd be a non-employee. So we can either just, the simplest proposal is just to have the statutory position have no stipend. you want to make it a little finer, it has no stipend if it's filled by a exempt employee of the district. If it's filled by a non-exempt employee or a member of the public, we can address the stipend. Yeah, for all a member of the public and do you want to do it a simple way first and then address it later? You only said it.
No motion to make.
No, I mean,
Well, no, there is, because we have to undo, I mean, there's an existing stipend in place, so there is a motion if we want to make the change.
No action preserves the existing stipend.
I would move that we discontinue.
I'll second that.
been moved and seconded that we eliminate the existing stipend position of district secretary. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
And I would like to make a motion that we appoint Ms. Manulli, position of district secretary, effective June 21st, 2015.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded that we appoint Nicole Gonzalez as our new district secretary. In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
One little housekeeping matter.
Oh, we did it right, didn't we?
We tried resolution that's in effect, we probably should rescind the resolution. I think that's implicit in the action, but the question is whether there was something more formal. They did that.
I believe.
Which one are you?
It'd be resolution 7-10, it was the one that was attached to the proposed resolution.
That was rescinded by point number 2 and the resolution was adopted.
Okay, as long as it was
It
a
was
resolution.
rescinded with the one part that says version A, version B, that created a stipend. Item number 2, that resolution 710, is regarding the rules and the term of the CRIC.
I missed the mention of the resolution.
So actually, if you want to be really precise, Pat chose version B there.
Yeah.
All right.
Minutes reflect that. Going on to item 10, board member items, submittal of written reports for travel and training attended by directors.
I only have one. I attended the Alameda County Special Districts meeting on July 8th. It was held at East Bay Regional Park. It was a great meeting. There were several speakers, actually. As we may know, LAPCO's actually hired someone to address and to follow legislative activities. So he was introduced and he spoke a little bit on the bill as being, I think, was the bill we were trying to not go along with. It's passed, but everybody recognized that there's lots of things wrong with it, so it's in the process of being amended already. We also had someone who was the executive director of the Oakland Chamber. I was actually kind of pleased to hear the outlook. Of course, that's that person's job, but still there were a lot of positive indications that Oakland is financially doing quite a bit better. And then Mono spoke on the LAPCO issues that are going on right now. We have several. California LAPCO executive director spoke to us. It was interesting to note that only 33 counties have special districts represented on LAPCOs. And I assume I was kind of joking, is that because, the special districts still don't matter in those counties, or if special districts don't want to be on the radar in those counties, which is probably more like it. And then we talked a little bit about the the special districts annual meeting in Monterey in September. And let's see what else. Oh, and of course, we've got the presentation from Bart again about all the pretty things that they're going to be doing in the next few years too. And there's no doubt about it, this was a dog and pony show to kind of placate us out here about all the things we think the money should be doing. But anyway, it was a very good meeting. It actually lasted until about 10:15 because there were so many people speaking. We don't usually have 3 people speaking, so. The next meeting is September 9th at the Hayward Area Recreation and Park District, and Pamela Resortskis is going to give us an update on their recreation area, which none of us have heard in recent years. So that's all.
Excuse me. My report is on a similar meeting with the Contra Costa Special District, which was yesterday. Our meeting didn't get off to a very good start because we waited for an hour for several members from LAFCO membership to come in and establish a quorum so they could conduct their election. So we killed time for 1 hour, which was not very productive. In that interim, we received a short presentation from Vector Control. The bad news is that just because there's less water around, doesn't mean the mosquitoes are dying off. It's interesting to note that he says a teaspoon of water will host a cluster of 500 mosquito eggs. So they do expect a resurgence of West Valley Nile, but they're hoping it's not going to be too bad. Also, as I've probably seen in the paper, that the drought is, especially in the agricultural areas, is causing a lot of an onslaught of rats and mice moving into the residential neighborhoods. Main presentation, the speaker was a presentation given by San Juan Valley Fire Protection District with a hands-on presentation to how to properly administer CPR and how to use an automatic external defibrillator. That was very well received and quite a few of the members participated. Other business items, the association voted to contribute $1,000 towards funding a teacher of the year outreach program. LAFCO reported that a workshop held on July 5th to promote development of more agricultural open space was very well attended. Kurt gave a financial report via email that we have $11,000 in the bank. Eric Fuller was not there. He sent a representative to give a short legislative update, which I'll submit copies to the present board members. The meeting was adjourned after 12:30. I had to leave early. That's all I have. So if there are no other items, at this time we'll go into closed session. We will come back after the closed session and report. Yeah.
Yeah.